Streetbeefs family, what's up, y'all? Face with you. By the time this vid uploads, we'll be on the trip to California. We coming to Cali. We will be in Richmond, Cali on Friday, sparring with a large group of guys. If you're interested in sparring with us, join the Facebook group. So, as you see by the title, I want to talk about real quick, for those that have forgotten what Streetbeefs was founded on and what still pumps through our veins. Solving disputes, particularly disputes that have a lot of back and forth that have the potential to get ugly. You know, we were founded on the idea of bringing those types of disputes to the yard with gloves and a referee so no crazy street stuff can happen, okay? So nobody gets arrested, nobody gets killed, no friends jumping in, none of that dumb shit. It's about, you know, solving these disputes with gloves and a referee like men. Now, so often, back in the day with Streetbeefs, we'd have people comment or, you know, people say, oh, blah, 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 run their mouth back and forth. But then when it's time to throw down, oh, well, you got to come to me. So with Streetbeefs, you know, beefs are solved in the yard. That's how it's always been, okay? And we've solved many beefs, hundreds and hundreds of beefs in the yard. Big beefs. I'm talking about, you know, stuff where people are really, really personally angry at each other. And they came to the yard and they got a fair fight. And I say, and I've said this before, you know, even with our main members, even with myself, if you got a beef, you reach out and say, I got a beef with you. Let's come to the yard and let's solve it. You know, using me as an example. Listen, there's people that have came to the yard and beat me in my yard. So that shows that you're going to get a fair fight. Nobody can say, oh, well, if I fight Scarface or if I fight Lord Bestamon or if I fight, I'm not going to get a fair fight. Well, that's been proven to be bullshit, because if somebody can come into the Streetbeefs yard and beat the founder in the yard and get a fair fight, not get jumped, no BS happen, you can't argue that you won't get a fair fight. So, you know, again, anybody out there that has a dispute, you can come to the yard and solve it. We encourage you to come to the yard and solve it. Don't, you know, listen, the people out there that, you know, make little false statements and say stuff like, oh, well, come to my house or meet me downtown at 2 o'clock. Those people want to get you in trouble, want to get you locked up, want something bad to happen in the streets. That's what they want, okay? And that's why we started Streetbeefs, to prevent that exact type of thing, okay? With Streetbeefs, 2 men or 2 women come to the yard. They're supervised. There's gloves. We talk to them before. We talk to them after. And even in, I'm not going to name names, but a beef that I had a year ago, it was actually a pretty heated beef, but when we got in the ring, the dude didn't fight. But the point is, it was heated. It was heated before we went in the ring, and it was still heated after we got out. But even then, even with it being with me, several people stepped in and they mediated. That's the type of people we have around us. We have good people in our core that try to make Streetbeefs be a positive thing and a place for people to solve disputes, or for a place for people to just come throw down if they want. So if you're out there and you got a dispute, bring it to the yard. Don't do nothing stupid. And furthermore, don't let cowards talk you into doing something stupid, i.e., telling you to come to their house or telling you to meet them downtown. Don't do that stuff. That's, for one, you'd be committing a crime. And nobody needs to go to jail over a petty dispute or even a serious dispute. For two, like I said, it just sets the table for all kinds of bad stuff to happen. Get jumped, craziness. No, if somebody really is real and really has a beef with you and really ain't afraid, they won't hesitate to bring that ass to the yard, okay? They won't hesitate to come, glove up, and show they bout it. Last thing I'll say, again, we've seen many a person come to the yard and solve disputes. Many. There's so many people I can name. I always shout out my dude, Cupcake. Always. I'll shout him out to the end of time. Because he sat on Instagram and he talked big shit. But he came to the yard and he gloved up and he solved it. Okay? And it don't get no realer than that. Cupcake came, fought, and me and him's cool now. We solved our dispute. Streetbeefs solved a dispute for me, and that's big. I'm sure he feels the same way. So if you're out there and have a dispute, bring it to the yard. If you have a dispute within a circle, bring it to the yard. Don't be one of these clowns that talk about, come to my house or any of that. That's coward talk for one, but for two, it's negativity, it's bad stuff. We don't want that negativity. Put the gloves on, solve it in the yard, leave it at that. And if a person's not willing to do that, if they're not willing to travel to the yard and put the gloves on, they must not really have a beef. Hey, y'all, Richmond, Cali, Friday, we're going to be sparring. Everybody come out. If you're out in these streets, stay safe, stay away from the fakes, stay away from the troublemakers, do the positive thing. See y'all soon. Peace.